Hi, this is Susan. I'm here to show you just the bones of a pumpkin patch that I'm going to create. A little market stall. And if you don't have time to do, the harvest time, the fall, then you could also use this for a Christmas market stall. And that's really fun too. But I've got two designs here. They're both made with the Tumbling tower game that you get at Dollar Tree. These are small Jenga blocks. They're like half the size. And so you use two of these containers. So they're $1.25, so that's $2.50. That's nothing for a project. And this is on my videos. This one is a fireworks stand. This one is a kissing booth. Now, this one's a little tall because you need your hand in there for getting the chocolates out. But you can cut this down just slightly to make it a pumpkin patch stall, market stall, or a Christmas market stall. You can leave it like this or whichever you choose. And so I put the doll in there so you can see the size of her in conjunction with the size of this. And I think these are so much fun, and I think people don't really know that they need one of these. You need one of these. You've got to have a pumpkin patch. It's fall coming on. It's so soon. It's just right around the corner. Okay, so I wanted to show you some of the things that I've collected and have, to work on my pumpkin patch. And that is, got to have leaves, fall leaves. So this was a punch that I got from Michael's. It's Recollections. And so you need a fall leaf punch. And this is what I use. I have two choices. You can use the coffee filter and paint it up all the different colors, the greens, the oranges, the reds, the yellows, or you can take brown paper that comes like in your packaging and paint this all those colors on both sides, and you don't have to have it can just be random, so that way when you punch it, either side that it lands on is going to be decorative. And that's what I did for my tree. So if you want to do, this is really cute to make like your fall leaves, how you have to clean up your yard, is take all the debris, the leftover pieces. After you finish punching them out, you have a lot of leftover odd pieces. And I take those and I put those into a ball with glue. And then I put the good pieces. And this has gotten dusty because it was out for months last fall. But take the good ones and cover the top with the good leaves. You'll place those as you want them with color. But it looks really cute. And then put your rake with it. Really cute. Okay, so there's all kinds of fun things to make that you can add to this. There's these grapevine wreaths everywhere. These are also in ornaments. I got one ornament that had a group of these around it, and I just took it apart. And then you can take this apart and use pieces of it as well. So you can make them smaller if you it's just wire, so if you just undo the wire, you can make it smaller. You just need to wet them. Let them get good and soaked for a few days to try to reshape them if you want it smaller. But I did make this last year to go at my dollhouse. And so I just took silk leaves and cut them to be underneath, some ribbon on front and some of the silk leaf colors. And then just some little pieces of flowers. And you just want to collect all the fall colors, and then I just have a little pumpkin I painted, but these were just in I think these were Dollar Tree. Little flowers that I just cut pieces out of. And the other thing that you can do if you didn't... I put things at the very end of long videos and think you just might not have heard them, so I'm going to tell you again. If you take thread or, you know, crochet thread, embroidery thread. Just sit and watch a movie and cut little tiny pieces of it. And you'll, especially if you get variegated colors, you'll have all these colors that you can use to make flowers and, you know, around your tree flowers and in your wreath flowers. But they're just little tiny fluffs of thread. And so you can see I had one variegated piece that I ended up doing all these different colors. And so I need some green, but those are great. You can just glue those, you know, little tufts of color. And I don't know about the acorn cap, but I'm sure we can do something with it too. Like maybe make 2 of them, make a pumpkin or something good with it. And I made this guy last year, and he was even taller. I thought they were supposed to be like big and ominous, you know, to keep the crows away. And so then I made it smaller, but he still seems too big. He's as big as the lady is, bigger. Anyway, you just get the little, I don't know what they call it, corn shuck or something like that. They usually come in a bag at the craft store. And I just used fabric that I had, and this was, if you are you want fabrics for your doll clothes and things like this, go to the thrift store and go to the men's shirts. The men's shirts, this is like a denim, but it's so lightweight because it's a man's shirt. And if you're worried about bugs or anything like that, there's 2 things you can do. Like if you get silk ties, you know, to use as upholstery, you can put the silk ties in the freezer for days. It won't mess them up. And the freezer will kill anything, and then high heat will kill anything. So I just bring things home. They're usually washed. It's not about the wash. It's just putting them into high heat for over 45 minutes. And then they're fine. Don't have any problem. So this is using felt, and I just shaped it and then came down. But anyway, I'm still working on size. I'm not sure about the size he's supposed to be. But I also saw that Hobby Lobby had these little hay bales. They had a bag of the hay bales, and they had little pumpkins. I saw it on someone's video, so I haven't been over there. But they do have in the past, they've always had the wreaths. They don't carry the Halloween, so they have a lot of fall. So you might want to check out their fall. And they had a truck. I tell you, you know, this time of year going into Christmas, they had a truck that had the panels on it. So I can't wait to go look and see that. Although I do have my red truck. I'm pretty content with my red truck. But they had one that was old-fashioned. So you'll have to go look. But anyway, this was if you want to make one of these, it's super simple. And this one's the fireworks stand, and this is the Hershey Kisses. So go check those out. The video's out there. It's early in my, you know, it's going to be a year in December. And this has been like the most memorable year of my life. I mean, almost, but it's been so memorable, and I've enjoyed so much time with you and making things to show you and share with you. And I love the comments, and I just wish I could hug every one of y'all and talk with you personally, because we love miniatures and we're crafters. We know who we are. We're crafters. So I just appreciate y'all, and it's going to be a year, December 15th. So it's just been such a full year for me. And I thank you for viewing. So let me get on with this. I've got some things to show you. It's just a random bunch of stuff that I want to show and share. So let me just toss this out of the way. Now I'll show you this pumpkin patch when I get it all dolled up, and it's really good. So I'm looking forward to doing that one, because I did my dollhouse before, and I think this will be fun too. Just an individual. Okay, now this was at the last of a video, and I just want to share this since we've got Halloween stuff going on as well coming up, that this is such interesting materials to use, for lack of a better word. Now, this is a grill, disposable grill topper, And I put this at the very end of my castle video, which I doubt people have an hour out of their life to sit and watch all that stuff, but I just wanted to share it with you again. Now, I just realized you could use this as a template to do Harlequin, you know, that diamond shape, you know, where you put like half wall where it's got the diamond shape. You could definitely paint that on, spray that on, using this as a template. But it's great for windows. If you do a castle or any kind of Halloween-y thing, this is great. Now, I did paint first. I didn't want it silver, so I first painted it with a metallic paint. And this is ages old, so it hasn't rusted through. It's kept its colors the same. And I use the gallery glass, but as I've seen, you know, people have used anything that's glue, that, you know, or diamond glaze that you can mix in color. So you can use pigment or food coloring or chalk or even eye makeup, you know, for color. You don't have to buy the individual paints. But this works really great for that. And it cost $1. I think I saw it at Dollar General. I think that might be where this one came from years ago. But I saw one in the spring. I saw one. So check them out. Somewhere in the dollar stores you'll find it. And even, it's a little more expensive at the grocery store, but they have them as well. Because they're like when your grill gets all rusty, you put your food on this instead of the rusty grill. So that's fun. That's something good to use in your curiosity shop. Make a window for the back of your curiosity shop. Okay, so I wanted to show you things I got at Temu that were fall. And these were at the end of a long video, so you may not have seen them. So all of these colors and different kinds of grass were there. This one is actually, excuse me, when I talk, I get choked up. Allergies. Okay, this is like, it's like a carpet. It looks like a welcome mat, but of grass. But I guess you cut these up, you know, you cut up the sprigs and then put them around. So this is all Temu. I haven't ordered Temu in a long time, but this was at the end of the video, so I just wanted to make sure you saw this and you can get some. This is a darker green. So they run the gamut of kinds of material and then definitely the color. And there's different colored flowers, but there's also like this really green and then this brown. Of course, you could mix tea, browns, or anything into a green and stretch the color. So this one is a little bit, you know, you can see how the colors are turning. So the other thing is this, they'll run out of these colors faster than this. So if you plan on doing something. Okay, this was really neat and I haven't used it yet. But it's got a lot of really great colors of dried flowers. And then I like the case. You could put pens in the case after you finish. So it's like a 2-in-1. But it has lots of good colors. And that's on Temu. And then they had this atrocious pink. But I guess if you have just a little bit of pink mixed in with something else, it's not bad. And, oh, here's that. So this came from that raffia. That's what they call it. That I used in my scarecrow. That's what it's called. Raffia. And this came from Hobby Lobby. So they'll definitely have that if you need it. And then, of course, you want to, like, grab some burlap. You know, burlap's a great thing to incorporate into this rustic-y time. So I have all of this. And then also the Dollar Tree has a lot of the reindeer moss and the yellowy brown moss. So that's a good place and a good price to get that at. And the other thing, I didn't show you this the other day, and I wanted to show this to you, especially since you might be making pumpkins. They had this clay. Now, these are funny colors to me, but for $1.25, you know, it's polymer clay that doesn't really give any instructions for people to know how to use it. Like, unless you know that you have to bake polymer clay. But you can just mix the colors together and paint it. if it's not your thing for colors. But here's a 5-piece clay craft tool. So that's got a lot of interesting, you know, it's on both sides. So I don't know what the round is. Well, interesting. Big things, little things. And these do have like ridges for scraping out, like, no, there's something in here too. There's texture in here. But and this has got kind of ridges for scraping out tree bark, which is one of your more important tools. And then texturing as well. So that's kind of cool. And then of course I got these blocks come from Dollar Tree. So, and the wood glue. While you're at Dollar Tree, don't forget your wood glue. And I show you a video of a bunch of cool things that they started carrying there. So definitely go there. Okay, so the other day I was at Michael's. And you might have already seen the videos that show the Halloween. I was just kind of previewing because I was looking at it, and I just previewed it and showed it to you, what they had in the different sections. But I forgot, I didn't show you this. Look at this. This was 80% off. And they had two big, huge bins of flowers. And all of this was 80% off. And so I picked the little smallest things. And I thought I could paint these little bells blue, or even make them Chinese lantern colors. Those are beautiful flowers, those Chinese lanterns. And then these match with these little fuzzy flocked pink ones. And then the raspberry and the yellow. Anyway, 80% off. So go grab some if you have a Michael's around before it's all gone. That's very cool. And the other thing is, I didn't know. I've seen other people that got stuff from Daiso. It's that Japanese store. And I didn't know that we had a Daiso. And there's, like, I've got another one to go to. There's two of them. But I went back and I looked at what other people got, and they didn't have as much at this one store. But then the lady said that the different stores carry different stuff. And then I guess this sells out really fast too. The miniatures are so popular. So I got this, but they start out at $225, where this lady on YouTube said $175. So I'm not sure if different areas have different pricing, or they've just jumped up that much in price. Because I just bought these the other day, and they were $225 instead of $1.75. But this is cute. This will be fun. I saw, you know, if you go and look at what Michael's has, they had a skeleton in a bathtub. And I thought that was so cute. The skeleton's just in with bubbles. So this, I kind of sat there staring at this, and then I realized, oh my gosh, this would be so great in like a 70s, like at a house where you have an amplifier and a guitar. It's a speaker, but it could be like an amp. Because even when I was a kid, I talked my mom into letting me buy I played the guitar, so I was like, can I have a guitar and an amplifier? And she let me take it home and try it out, and I had it all of one night, and it was back to the guy that was selling it. She would not let me keep it, but it made me think of that guitar and the amplifier. You could use that for this, or any kind of Barbie diorama. But these, I saw that Whitney LaBrie had bought this, and these are great, in your builds, for fun, because it's, it's like, what's in that? But you know how they have all these balls with plastic miniatures in them? Make your own. You can make your own. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to do this. I found that I had this basket filler from Easter, from a big Easter basket I got. They had just a bunch of filler. And so I was like, yeah, I can just put this filler in there. And it's like, it reminds me of like Indiana Jones, where, that big warehouse full of boxes. And Whitney LaBrie did the Indiana Jones in her 15-room dollhouse. And oh my gosh, I just can't get over it. I just look at it and I show my friends. It's just amazing to me that she represented all three of the shows. But in that one, there's this big warehouse full of crates. And I guess you could paint this, but I was thinking this would be so great to make your own miniature and surprise somebody, you know, grandchild or just a friend or whatever, with or a gift where you make your own, like universe, or what do they call them? Mini ball, mini brands, mini verse, Zuru, or whatever they call those. Make your own. How fun. So this was $2.25. Now the pricing at that place was kind of strange at Daiso, you know, because it's Japanese pricing, so everything, it's like crammed. I've never seen so much stuff. It's like a dime store, a Japanese dime store, and it's just a wall of stuff, and it's not put in any, I don't think it's in any particular order. This was in home decor, this miniature stuff, and they had 2 sections of miniatures, but not that much good miniatures. That I wanted to get that wheelchair, and I didn't see that, but it's just a wall, and there's like a little craft section, a little sewing section, tool section, and I didn't need any tools, but they've got little ones that, you know, hand tools that we could use in miniature. So if you ever get a chance to go to one of those, or you're driving through, check and make sure that town or something that you're driving through doesn't have one, because it was an adventure. It was. I didn't get a whole, this is all I bought, and some Cheetos, but they said that they sell out so quickly that they put more out. So, and they don't know, I guess they don't really know what they're going to get. And so I can't wait to keep checking back and see, you know, what miniatures they get. Okay, so this is funny. I've been wanting to show this to you. I went to the emergency room. I had this horrible abscess tooth. And this just went on, and I couldn't get the right care, and everywhere I kept going to places that they didn't have the person that needed to do the root canal, and then find out $1,500 later that the tooth couldn't be saved. But part of that journey was going to the emergency room for the second round of antibiotics as my face swelled. And so they were putting a line in me or something, and I was like, oh, can I have that piece of plastic? You know how we are crafters. I was like, oh, I'll use it, I really will. And they look at me kind of strange, like, well, okay, you know, sort of, because they got to throw the bad stuff away. And I went, no, really, it's okay. And so I said, I'm on YouTube, so I love this stuff. I make all kinds of junk out of it. And so the nurses, they love to give you stuff. They always give me these syringes, and I made out of the stick part of the inside part, I made a lighthouse. So he brings me back 2 bags full of, he goes, you just can't imagine the amount of stuff we throw away. Now he can't give me things that are used, but he just went and collected. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but there's all kinds of stuff. There's like these, apparently there's these kits. So this is like a whole kit, so they throw away stuff that they don't use within the kit. But look at that tubing. I'm sure I'll be able to use the tubing. And this little thing looks like something from a carnival that you bang, you know, and the thing goes up and hits the bell. Here's a big syringe. It's actually got something in it. Don't know what's in it, but something's in it. Anyway, I was like, yay! Look at all this stuff. Nurses love to give you stuff. They don't mind. Anyway, I was so thrilled. Look at all this stuff. So he gave me another bag, and I don't know, I was going through it and separating stuff out, but there was some paper. And I was going to tell you to look at paper now when you're washing your hands. Sometimes the 2 places, they had different kinds of paper, and the paper has texture, and I'm trying to find something that would work for an ice cream cone that looks like poo on paper, and it's really not. It's alcohol pen, but I'm trying to see what the texture does. But these sheets of paper, you know, for drying your hands, now they have great texture. So this one I got the other day, and it looks like water. See that design? So I was like, posh paper. And so I ran the alcohol pen over it to see if it looked like the cone part, you know, of an ice cream cone. Now for the ice cream, if you are interested in doing ice cream cones, you can use spackle. Spackle or toilet paper in a wet, really watered down glue. Take toilet paper and an individual ply, and get it wet and wad it up, and it'll make a ball, and it'll look like a ice cream cone or ice cream scoop. But also spackle. I did the big ones, and the big ice cream cones and all that, and they look exactly like the real thing. You just can't tell the difference, and they're made with spackle. Okay, so here's what I got at Michael's. If you want to go look at those videos, I just went ahead and videoed everything that I was looking at. And I always like to get the Limax catalog, because sometimes there's things that are big enough, to go in our miniature things. And then, of course, if you do half scale, there's tons of stuff. So I got this. So this is always great to get and keep for ideas as well. But they had coffins and little pumpkins for sale on a little sign and everything. So anyway, just real cute stuff. So you might want to run by and then they had these lights. They had, I don't know what these kind of lights, LED bulb moonlander. See, it's different colors, called Moonlander. Now Temu has some round lights, so it might be a whole lot cheaper to buy it from Temu. But, and then here's a cute light, look at that. So I'm planning on making, with the lantern that I made from the fans, I'm planning on making a stand for it. But let me just quickly show you the ones I got that are so cute. Now this was from the fall stuff. I got these two that were in the fall, and there wasn't very much of the fall. So these were for this pumpkin stand. And it's not that I couldn't make these, but I just like the metal. I just thought they were really cute, and if I paid, it was like 40% off, plus I get a teacher's discount. So it was cheap. Yeah, so I thought, I don't mind paying for those two for that. But I got a little witch. I'm not sure if I'll keep her or just make my own witch. But I'm gonna pull out my one Halloween miniature thing to show y'all that I made a couple of years ago. I think these are so cute. Look, they're doing a selfie. Isn't that adorable? They're doing a selfie on the... This is just so cute. Now this is all 40% off. And I guess you can order if you're not near a Michael's. Seems like they'd be like Hobby Lobby where you could order it. But look at how cute they are. And the spiders, and the hat and the wreath, and the cape, and they're doing, I assume that's a selfie. It looks like a selfie. Like the phone. I just think that's so cute. So they had these little fairy girls. These are like 1950s looking colors and style. The illustrations of the 50s. If you've ever looked at the illustration books, they're just amazing. You can't take your eyes away. There's just amazing, amazing illustrations. But they were really cute. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them for the size, but they were so cute. And there was a lot of cute stuff. And you can see the video. I included the video. And all I've done is just go through and just scan the whole aisle. And there's aisles and aisles of Halloween. So the Halloween's a lot cuter this year. I will say that. It's not spooky scary, and I don't like spooky scary. It's a lot cuter. I think everybody's realizing, that the Miniverse and the Mini brand and everything, that we're all into cutie miniatures now, not so much scary. There was a lot of, the most scary was the skeletons, and that's about it. But this was so cute, little typewriter. And this was, I don't know, just something interesting. I mean, I don't know how you pick one from another, because there were so many things I could have gotten. But I just tried to limit myself to only so much. So, little pile of skulls. And I was thinking I probably could just get skulls. If I find them at the dollar store, I might, because I've made the crows before. Now this one I got solely because it has a frog, and I want to take the frog and make a mold out of it. But this was cute with the book sitting up on a stand, so that was kind of cool. And then there's little bats, so I'm thinking I'm gonna definitely try to do the bat and the frog into molds, so I'll have more of those. And these were adorable and definitely need those for all my kids at the dollhouse. And they're just plastic, little plain plastic, so you can load them up with candy and they can go trick-or-treating. And then I have cats, but I don't have a dog, so this was so cute. It's a dog on a pillow, you put your feet on, but it's a dog skeleton. They did have a cat skeleton, but I'm a dog person, so I thought, oh, that's so funny. Anyway, that was it. I limited myself. I did good. I'm proud of myself. I only went back for one thing, and that was these were in the real, there's something going on. I want to tell you this too. There's something going on in the miniatures, you know, the regular miniature aisle, because everything was clearanced. It was like every third item was clearanced. So they're either going to revamp it, or they're going to this resin that they carry for seasonal. But keep an eye out. They are clearancing for $2 and $3. A third of, I would say at least a third of their inventory. So these were regular price. So I just got these at, I don't know, they had like a 20 off or something coupon. But these bowls have like a little, like a mixing bowl. And so I can use this for my Christmas project. A little expensive. This was a little more than, let's see. It was $3.99 minus $1, so $2.99 plus tax. No, it was $4.99. Oh, it's even worse. This was $4.99 and so $1 off, so I paid $3.99 plus tax. Well, that's kind of high, but they are wood, and I'll definitely use that shape. It's really hard to get rounded shape. Have you noticed that? But something's going on with Michaels with their miniatures. And I think it's because they aren't 1/12 scale that people aren't buying them as much as maybe going to Hobby Lobby, because they're not 1/12 scale. And I'm not sure they're half scale. So I don't know what scale they are. But you decide, but definitely, you know, if you want to check out Michaels so you don't miss out on getting some clearance ones. Sometimes they have those sales that are on top of the clearance stuff. I just think that one's so funny. Funny. Put that by your computer. And then definitely pick up, even if you don't collect Lemax, you know, pick up one of their, or look into their accessories. Because they also had the wooden, they had a whole, by the register, this whole entire huge box of the coffins, the wood coffins that you can make like shelves out of, put little shelves in them and make like a coffin shaped shelf. But they have a light in them, and then they had plain ones, and then they had ones that said things on them. I got one last year. It's still in storage, and I'm going to get it out to show you. It's part of my little Halloween miniature thing. But that was fun. Okay, so come back, and I think that's everything I was going to show you right now. Oh, no, I have one other thing. Now, you know I put up a castle, if you follow me, and I found this at Dollar Tree. And if you're building a castle, this is a 3-in-1 game. I paid $1.25 for it. But look at that. I saw that and I was like, ooh, that's like a floor right there. Put that as a floor in a room box or something. That's pretty cool. And it's got this other design. Mike could use that as a floor or something interesting. But these pieces are great to use in your castle. You know, it's kind of like if you used I'm trying to think. The scary things that are up on the top. Anyway, you can use these up on the top, you know, and you can also use like I can't think of their names. Anyway, these would be cute, like up on, you know, corners of something. A bed. You could use these, you know, for posts for a bed with a dowel rod. So they're small enough to just get good use out of them along the way. Like this, this would be cute up on the corners of your castle room box, or definitely put them into you've got black ones, you can put them into your curiosity box. Just paint them up and just add that too. So that was $1.25. So that's really great. So anyway, I'm going to show you some furniture that I got for my birthday. So check back with me and think about this. A pumpkin patch. You need a pumpkin patch. You got to think about this. It's real easy, and the video's out there to do it. Just go and get you the Jenga blocks. Okay? So thanks. Bye.